So, I wanted to talk to you guys about a story about forgiveness and how important it is, and how much respect you have for just not only just yourself, but how that ripples throughout your whole family. So, a while ago, my uncle Ronnie was going through a really rough time dealing with certain aspects of his life. And one night I get a text, and I think it was a text or call from a family member named Chad. Now, he was like, "David, this is one of your only chances to say your goodbyes." So I leave my house, I grab some paintings, and I decide to head over to the hospital. And as I am leaving, I grab a couple paintings. Chad tells me what room he is in, and I head up. I'm really happy I went that night, because that night was the last night that he was alive. Him and I have had a rough time throughout my life. We've butted heads. We both had our demons that we were fighting. And I know that he was going through a rough time dealing with the fact that he lost both his parents and his lover. His best friend, basically. And that can really change you. And that can send you down the darkest path in life. When you realize that we are born and there's an ending to that. And we don't ever know what the ending is to that story. So I'm in the room, I walk in, show him the paintings, and at this point there was not much movement he could actually do, because he was physically, it was rough. So I glove up and I put on protective clothing, and I'm sitting there, and I look at him, and he's eating crushed ice and drinking water, and I sit there and I talk to him, and I look into his eyes and I say, "Hey, I love you, and I forgive you. I forgive you And he looks at me and he forgives me. And he says he loves me. And I say, "I love you." And sitting there talking with him, and then after a while the nurse comes in and says, "Hey, we really have to give him his medicine now." And I hold his hand and I say, I forgive you for everything. I've always loved you. Always. And I always will. No matter what has happened, when we have bumped heads and when we have had our problems, and regardless of all that crap, he's family. And before I leave, I see his eyes brighten. I see his soul has been like a huge weight was lifted off of his shoulders so that he wasn't tethered to this world anymore. He could fly. He could go in peace. Knowing that that burden is gone. The reason why I wanted to tell this story is to tell everybody that forgiveness is never for you, it's for the other person. And I walk out of there that night. I go home, go to sleep. I get the call that he has passed, and that by doing what I did, my family looked at me in a whole new light, in a whole new direction. If you want to forgive somebody, forgive them. I just wanted to tell you guys this story. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I love my family. I'm thankful for Kitty that works for Medtronic. I'm thankful for John Powers that works for Medtronic. They changed my life. They helped me say goodbye to a loved one. Alright guys, sorry about the video being a little bit emotional, but I just wanted to give you guys that perspective. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I appreciate every one of you.